Here's my roundup of days 2 and 3 of Tokyo Game Show. Yesterday, which was day 2 and the final business day of TGS, I ended up meeting people and doing some interviews for RPM, the unofficial retro PlayStation magazine, so I didn't get to play as many games. By the way, the Kickstarter for issue 4 of RPM is live right now, and if you love retro PlayStation games, please check it out. I thought the business days were really busy, but I was not prepared for how many people were there on day 3. It was just ridiculous. I arrived 2 hours after TGS had started, and there were still thousands of people outside queuing. It took me a while to get in, and when I did, it was not worth trying to queue for any of the AAA games, so I mainly played a lot of indie games today. Before I actually talk about the games, I need to say that I do not recommend coming to TGS on public days. It is just too busy and really hard to even walk around. Some people brought their little kids with them as well, which seems even crazier. Anyway, I'll talk about some of the games that I played, and I'll save the best one for last. First up is Tokyo Stories, which is a chilled-out exploration game where you play as a character searching for answers on the disappearance of her friend. The pixel graphics and soundtrack were amazing. It's set in Tokyo, and I just love the style of the game. I was also really intrigued to find out what happened to the girl that was lost. It's made by the same team who made Rain on PS3, and they were one of the teams I interviewed for RPM. Something really cool they had for the demo was this headphones that goes around your shoulders as opposed to going on your ears. The soundtrack was really chilled out but really addictive as well, and as the music played from that kind of shoulder headphone thing, it vibrated and it felt really immersive in terms of feeling the music and feeling the game. It was a very cool experience. I played Fatal Fury City of Wolves. I've always been more of a Street Fighter guy, but I enjoyed Fatal Fury. I got my ass completely kicked by the guy I was playing against, but I still had a really good time and I loved the cel-shaded art. Nightmare the Lunatic is kind of like Rogue Legacy but with some mechanics of Dead Cells. It was really fun and the controls felt just perfect to play. This one's already out and there's a free demo on Steam, so I recommend checking it out. I really like the art style of this game and the gameplay, like I said, is just brilliant. Arise is an action RPG by French studio Cross the Ages. It was clearly still in development and it was rough around the edges, but the gameplay was fun. I played using a keyboard and still enjoyed it, even though I don't like using a keyboard and mouse for gameplay. I think when it comes out on console, using a controller, it'll be really good. Last and definitely my favorite game on this list is Sonok Kuni. I randomly saw someone playing it while I was walking by and decided to give it a go, and I loved it. It's a top-down action game, very much like Hotline Miami, but based on Japanese mythology and with Japanese hip-hop for the soundtrack. There's more mechanics to master than Hotline Miami, and it's super duper hardcore. It's a really tough game. You need to be aware of all enemies at all time. It's one-hit kill like Hotline Miami, and enemies can attack you in different ways, like dashing through you, shooting blue projectiles which you need to activate your shield to avoid death. They shoot red projectiles which you need to knock back. And there are enemies that shoot at you after a short time and those attacks can't be dodged, so you need to slow down time and kill them as quickly as possible. I died a lot, but you learn from each death and you learn the enemy habits for each room and you figure out how to beat them and which order to beat them in. It's like each room is a mini puzzle in that way. And it really is satisfying to clear a tough room, especially when you can do it on your first try and manage to shield, attack and slow down time instinctively to avoid death and take out the enemies. Like I said, it's got a Japanese hip-hop soundtrack and the music was brilliant. I was there just kind of tapping to the music and it just felt like it worked with the game so well. The main character is this kind of creepy demon lady that crawls around on all fours, and I'm really intrigued to play it and see how the story plays out. I played a few other games, but these were the 5 that really stood out to me. The final day of TGS is tomorrow, so hopefully I'll get to try out a few more games. I really wanted to try Persona 5X, but the queues have just been crazy. So I'll see you tomorrow if it's possible. Thanks for watching.